bersama di negara kita ini untuk melaksanakan dan pada pagi ini kita berkesempatan pula bersama dengan pelajar yang turut serta dalam program ini dan mereka ini adalah dua orang pelajar daripada Kanada dan kita akan bercakap sedikit berbual dan insyaAllah kita akan bertanyakan banyak perkara lah mengenai dalam program ini dan kita perkenalkan dulu pelajar pertama Zahra Henderson dari Kanada. Good morning, Zahra.
Good morning.
Dan yang satu lagi ialah Donald Cleland.
Good morning.
Dari Canada. Good morning, both of you. Thank you very much for being with us this morning. Well, it's a great pleasure to be inviting you because 3 weeks ago we had the opportunity to be with your professor, who is also running this what I call some sort of project here in Brunei. Now, first of all, let us go, both of you, and then we can discuss more things, before we go in depth. Now, what is your field of study in Vancouver?
Both of us study industrial design in Vancouver. Our school is called Emily Carr Institute of Art and Design, and we're fourth-year students, so we've been there for quite a few years already. And industrial design, it's not really a well-known career that people talk about, so I'll explain a little bit. What we do is design objects of our physical world. So that could be furniture, like the things we're sitting on. It could be medical equipment. It could be toys. It could be cars, car interiors. Yeah. Basically anything you can put your hands on. And so in order to do this well, we sort of have to combine quite a few different skills, sort of a jack of all trades. And we're capable of using computer programs like CAD and do technical renderings, drafting of our work. We can construct physical models of what the object will look like. We do hand drawings and ideation, a lot of creative process.
Yeah. And then what about you, Dana?
Well, of course, we also have ergonomics as well, which is a very important study in industrial design to understand how the user actually interfaces with these products that we're designing. And sociology as well, understanding the social context of the design.
Now, I understand from my discussion with the professor that students are being chosen from, it's not the student that who apply to come to Brunei. So how did you manage to come here?
Well, both of us were in a class of his. I'd actually been in a few classes over the years, and we'd gotten to, I guess, show our skills, and he was appreciative of the effort we put into his class. So when the time came around that he knew he was going to have the go-ahead, he approached us and asked us to do it.
So both of you are the same?
We're the same. We're both asked at the same time, and very, very pleased to come.
By the way, how does this project relate to your study?
Okay. This project, first of all, is a great source of inspiration in our studies, I would have to say, and we're learning to appreciate design and production in another country. So in that sense, it's a first-hand experience to learn about production and design in another part of the world.
Now, before I go to Zara, by the way, how do you feel that wearing the same eye? You're beginning to adapt yourself to our culture.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's very comfortable too, I have to tell you. Yeah. But no, we appreciate being here, and we appreciate having the opportunity to really become a part of the culture. Yeah. And this is our way of showing it.
Thank you very much. Now, what about you, Zara?
About the...
How does this project relate to your study?
Oh, well, certainly it's almost a part of our class. We do get credits for it as well at our school. And it's, again, an opportunity to learn about the history and how other people approach problem solving. So we learn about also the big differences, like North America is very manufacturer-based, lots and lots of products. But here there's more of a craft industry, so there's inspirations to take from that as well.
Yeah. Did you make baju kurung?
I have worn, yes.
Why did you wear it now?
But then you wouldn't know what a Canadian design student looks like.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's have a look on the recording that we did during your visit to Kampung Isle. So, this is the one.
Well, in this trip to Kampong Ayer, it was our first week we were here, right, Dan?
First week, yeah.
Yeah, so we were learning a little bit, just getting introduced to the culture, the different kinds of food that were made, there was packaging involved too, wasn't it?
Packaging design.
Right?
Yeah.
This is interesting. I remember getting on this boat here and not recognizing Zara. She was dressed up in the traditional, Malay clothing. It was quite funny.
You can't really see me yet.
You don't feel scared, isn't it? You don't feel scared?
No.
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 No. Everybody was very generous and welcoming. Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
We were also supposed to be part of a pretend wedding, so we were made to hold hands.
Yeah, quite fun.
Oh, this was a lot of fun. Okay, I'm not chewing gum, but I think
Looks like I am.
sampling food. Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Zara in disguise.
And the professor as well.
And Professor Carter.
Yeah.
This was a lot of fun, actually, getting to cook.
This is called makanan cincin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Otherwise known as the Brunei pretzel, I think.
Yeah. Oh, Kathy Pat.
Yeah, this is what I was referring to with packaging. I was trying, but I couldn't get it. I tried even later that evening, but I just
So
couldn't
until now
manage.
you're unable to do that?
I still can't, no. I still cannot.
What about you now?
I'm learning,
Is it very difficult to do that?
I think it just takes practice.
Yeah.
Frankly speaking, I also don't know how to do that.
Well, sometimes even my homestay mothers would try
Yeah.
and show me, and they'd be like, no, that's not the way, and they'd undo it and try it again, because they didn't know either.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there's our...
Here we are filling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rice.
You also putting the
Notice strong-
inai on your finger.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah,
You can see right now it's just our fingernails that are left, but...
so meaning that's the new bride.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what's the difference between fine art, i.e. painting and sculpture, and applied arts and design?
Okay. Well, art tells a story, okay? And the story is often based on culture. And probably the biggest difference between art and design is that design still can tell a story, but it's a story that relates to perhaps tools and...
Sort of the products in our modern world. So this table could be a story about the way we approach lines, what we feel is references local woods maybe, or local styles. Like examples here would be Islamic architecture and things like that. So design does approach issues in our culture, but it's reference to the way we solve problems, not necessarily just a cultural critique like art can be, contemporary art, that is.
Yeah. So what method do you use to conduct the research?
We did, well, at first, before we even arrived at Brunei, we had a certain number of criteria that we had to fill. So we knew we wanted to get an example of fashion design. We knew we wanted to get an example of architecture, of urban design, of...
industrial design, packaging design, these sort of things.
Yeah.
And then, of course, once we were here, we had the opportunity to talk to local people in Brunei to ask them about, their local design and applied arts. And, of course, the most obvious is the phone book. We actually went to the phone book and made some calls to various design firms and design individuals. And, of course, word of mouth. We were referred by many to go and see various designers.
Or we would go to a designer and we tell them of our project, and then they'd say, oh, well, we know this and this and this person. They're also doing something that you might be interested in. So we actually, quite a few examples, maybe 5 or 6 were discovered that way. So
did you get a very strong support from the general public to materialize your research?
Sure, once we explained ourselves clearly and people understood what it was that we were doing, I think people were very interested in helping us out.
Yeah. So how were the examples selected for the APAAF site chosen?
Well, we chose them from how they reflected our culture. So is getting a broad range as we could on, of course, again, the fashion and the architecture or the packaging design, graphic design. So we try to get one from each, and also to only choose one designer for each one, and to not repeat the designers. So we get as broad a range of designers as possible exposed through the website. And yeah.
Do you have anything to add? Huh?
No.
Okay.
So I
Now
covered it.
let's now have you discovered an example of Bruneian designer revoking traditional ideas in new ways?
Definitely. Textile design is a big one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Precisely. Yes,
We've noticed newer, more contemporary patterns being applied to textiles, and also new ideas for accessories, for instance, where textiles are applied.
Yeah.
What was really beautiful about the textile place we visited is that she's using a lot of new metallic threads and new colors. Like we were told that traditional fabrics use very saturated colors, very bright reds and blues and
Is
greens.
it you mean the fabrication of this kain sarong?
Yeah, the ones that they use for weddings and really fancy occasions.
That's the one. Yeah.
So she was incorporating more subdued browns and mauves and really phenomenally beautiful fabric. So.
Now, what are Brunei's strength in applied arts and design? Because if we can see now, the development around us, computer-aided and so many things.
I was really impressed by events design here.
Yeah.
Especially every weekend there's a wedding. We've already been to so many weddings ourselves, so we've had a good taste of that.
Sure.
So the production of the clothing, of the thrones that they sit on.
Or the weddings, for sure.
And yeah, fantastic. And then of course there's the Sultan's birthday, and unfortunately we won't be here to see the birthday, but celebrations. But we heard a lot about the floats, the graphics. People prepare for months before
The
this.
lighting
So
presentation as
lighting,
well.
yeah, fantastic. So I would put those at the top of the list for sure.
Most definitely.
So you don't have the opportunity to be here in July?
No.
No, I'm afraid not.
Unfortunately, no. We'll be traveling.
So when are you leaving then?
We leave Brunei on the 15th, and we're going on a small trip to Sabah. Both of us are mountaineering enthusiasts, so we have to go climb Mount Kinabalu for sure. That's our plan.
So you don't have the intention to bring your family here, like in sometime in July, because you may find that many interesting things will be happening.
Definitely.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I'll be traveling in other parts of Asia at that time.
Yeah.
Zara will be as well, traveling.
I will be working for the rest of the summer, but in the future I would love to bring my family here. My father was he was an army officer, Gorkha in the British military in the 60s, and he was so excited when he found out that I was coming to Brunei, and I think he would really like to come back. So if we do, we'll make sure it's at that time.
So you can bring the new stories with different things.
Definitely.
Then you all can share with your father.
Yeah, you can show me what's
60s
different.
and
Contemporary times.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I have one suggestion that if you can ask your foster parent to call you back in July, maybe you can enjoy it. What is your favorite example of the 30 product you have chosen?
Well, my favorite example was certainly the glass blowing factory that we went to.
Yeah.
They were really inspiring and hit right on the mark what it was that we were trying to get, because they sponsored students to train abroad to learn the skill of glass blowing, which isn't established here in Brunei yet. So they trained these glass blowers, built this very beautiful facility with the intention of having it be something that tourists would come to see, to watch demonstrations, to learn about Brunei, and they had fantastic examples of using local flora and fauna, local traditional items that were reworked in a glass tradition, which is very new. So and a very beautiful gallery as well. So we wish them luck for sure.
Quite impressive, quite impressive.
Yeah.
My favorite was definitely the katupat in traditional Brunei packaging. My focus is actually packaging design. And being able to see a traditional design such as the katupat that is, proven the test of time, it's, biodegradable, natural material. I think it's, it's something that we can actually adopt to newer packaging.
Oh yeah. Besides ketupat, selurut, kelupis.
Yes.
Wajit. Have you tasted wajit?
Which one is that?
Yeah.
Wajit, the one with the... It's very... I don't have here. If I can...
Too bad. We'd love to try it.
We've tasted a lot of really great food, though.
You sure have.
Big range.
Very good, huh? Now, have you been to Kuala Belait, Tutong, and Temburong?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
I've been to Tutong in Syria,
Okay.
but not yet to.
Belalong or what?
No.
Maybe you can enjoy that scenery over there.
Yeah, we'd like
we
to.
would very
Yeah.
much like to take a riverboat ride.
Do you think
too.
that you have the opportunity to go there?
We hope so.
We hope so.
so.
We have to squeeze it in somewhere this last week.
Okay, what would you say to encourage designers and craftspeople in Brunei?
I would really advise them to group together and really find each other so that they can make organizations and encourage each other to promote themselves.
To really look at marketing themselves in a new way to the world, but of course also to not lose sight of their cultural identity. That can be an amazing thing to contribute to design.
Well, throughout your stay here in Brunei, what are the most significant things that you can observe?
I would have to say the kindness of people
Yeah.
just blew us away. How kind and receiving people were of us here,
Generous.
and
Incredibly
generous.
They never want to let us leave to go to our next homestay family.
Definitely.
Always staying. So.
Yeah.
And also the natural scenery here, the landscape is so beautiful.
Yeah.
You really are so fortunate.
Thank you very much. Now, what do you feel a collection of Bruneian applied arts is important to put together?
I certainly feel that it's very important, again, to preserve our natural or our native cultures no matter where we are in the world. What we're finding is that design is becoming quite generic. I'm from Canada, but I can drive the same cars as you drive here.
Yeah.
I brush my teeth with the same toothpaste. I can eat the same food. I can get Oreo cookies if I wanted to here. So and this is all fine and good. It's part of progress. But what we really need to do is figure out how to keep our individual identities, but recreate them in a way so that they can survive in the contemporary context. So we want to have these designs together so that we can inspire people, whether they're artists and designers, but also anybody to use their traditional things more globally, more internationally.
Sure, globally for sure. I mean, this is a very special thing for Brunei to be recognized on a world stage for various design and applied art examples.
Do you have an opportunity to meet with our artists and designers here in Brunei?
We've met with a few, offhand. More artists, I'd say.
I'd say as well.
Yeah. Painters.
Did you get any very positive response from them, or you get new things from them?
I would say they were pretty excited.
They were quite excited. Yeah, definitely.
To know that there was a project like this coming to Brunei and the specific reasons for it. So.
Now, what kind of influence that has this trip, and on your views of all art and design?
It's been quite broadening. You tend to look at things, obviously, through a Canadian's eyes if you're Canadian, and what it's done is it really has made us able to see the commonalities between countries, even though we're such different cultures, and also the differences as well. So we're able to draw on the differences for inspiration, but also find comfort in the similarities, maybe the similar challenges that we have. So,
for sure, production is a perfect example of that. We have a challenge with production in British Columbia for mass-produced goods, and a similar thing in Brunei. It's something that's just starting to pick up. So it's quite something to be able to identify with similarities like that.
Yeah.
So have you found it quite a different to study and travel at the same time rather than just traveling?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's a really incredible experience when you can look at things through a channel like arts and crafts and design, because arts and crafts is a reference of a culture. So when you're studying something in that detail, you really get to understand and meet people and see things in a completely different way than just going to Rome and saying, there's a beautiful building, I'll take a picture of it. Here's, that sort of way.
Especially when we're being adopted, as we have been, into this culture. It's really a first-hand experience to be able to see from the inside instead of looking from the outside in.
Yes, that's a very good experience, isn't it?
Very.
Did you have the opportunity to eat that, what do you call ambuyat?
The side
Yes,
we did.
I love the spicy sauce that goes with it.
I'm still learning how to properly do it, but it's good.
Have you been able to eat that alone without the help of our your foster parents or what?
I'm still being helped.
I'm quite independent, so I try and do it by
Yeah.
myself. They probably laugh a little bit, but...
No, well, when you were selected to come to Brunei, what were your first expectation, you know?
Well, I think for myself, I purposely did not put expectations on this trip.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be let down in any way, and I
Yeah.
certainly haven't been let down in any way whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I think also the best way to prepare yourself is not to think about it.
Yeah.
Just because you have no idea. And the cultures are so different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wasn't too sure what it would be like, but...
I assume that you have some brief ideas about Brunei, isn't
Yes.
it? Mm-hmm. So how do you get there? How do you collect this material?
Most of it was done through either the books in our local library or internet research.
We just did very general stuff.
Even talking to people, you know, you'd be surprised. In Vancouver, you mention you're going to Brunei, and someone says, "Oh, my cousin's from Brunei." Or, you know, they start telling you about it.
Yes. Okay. No, last but not least, what similarities or differences do you see between Brunei and Canada in relation to applied art?
Well,
I would say probably one of the big difference is population.
Yeah.
Brunei is relatively small in comparison to Canada, and when you have a smaller population, you have a smaller number of people contributing to applied art.
However, our mindset is also quite small. Despite the fact that we're 35 million, we think of ourselves as this teeny tiny little country, probably because the United States beside us is 350 million.
Right.
So.
You don't find it very hectic here, isn't it?
That's nice.
Very quiet.
It's a nice pace. Easy to adapt.
Well, what are the most important things that you will bring from Brunei to your country, Canada, particularly to tell your colleagues, you know, at the university or maybe some other friend?
I would like to explain about tradition in Brunei and how tradition plays such a big role in applied arts and design. I think it's very special because for us, we are a very young country and our traditions are still developing.
Yeah.
So that will be something very unique to share.
I think I'll probably tell lots of stories. There's so many stories, it's hard to pick through them, but Kampong Ayer was a real hit for me. I thought it was an incredible place, but then also the similarities. Like, my first family I stayed with, I would spend the afternoons sitting in front of the TV and singing karaoke. So it's just a commonality that it'd be fun to share those things too.
Okay.
So.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we also hope that you will enjoy your stay here in Brunei. Once again, thank you very much.
Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Terima kasih. Well, itulah bualan saya bersama dengan dua orang pelajar yang bersama kita dalam mengikuti pengajian mereka, membuat kajian untuk persiapan dalam rangka projek yaitu yang dinamakan sebagai Asia Pacific Applied Arts Forum ataupun ringkasnya APAAF website, yaitu dari 4 hingga 16 Mei ini, dari 4 April yang lalu hingga 16 bulan Mei. Dan seperti yang telah mereka nyatakan, yaitu yang menarik perhatian mereka bukan saja mereka dibantu dengan projek-projek ini, tetapi juga lawatan mereka ke Kampung Ayer bersama dengan keluarga angkat juga menyentuh perasaan mereka, yaitu kebaikan yang telah ditunjukkan, pertolongan dan juga kasih sayang kepada mereka, sama seperti keluarga angkat yang mereka rasakan agak sukar untuk mereka lupakan. Contoh yang paling ketara pagi ini kalau kita tengok Donald sendiri pakai baju yang dibuat khusus untuk Donald, dan Sarah juga ada baju kurung, dan mungkin nanti balik mereka akan pakai. Hopefully you will wear all these traditional clothes from Brunei, MIB and baju kurung. Thank you very much. Well, hingga kita jumpa lagi. Salam manis dari kami.